Hey guys, and welcome to another review by Projects. I'm Psycho, and in this part I'm going to be reviewing Darksiders, the second part. So, well, I'm not gonna make much of an intro here. I'm just gonna leave the intro from the game for now. Enjoy it, so I'm gonna see you after this one.
Has been broken. Even now, Earth smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the Destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen. Some say the Horseman War triggered the apocalypse, that he rode to Earth unbidden and doomed all of mankind. But what of the other horsemen, fearless enforcers of the Council's will? What of fury, strife, and death? To know those names, you must first know another. Nephilim, cursed union of angel and demon. The Nephilim, countless realms usurped and burned them to ash. But four amongst them grew weary of the slaughter and feared their conquest would imperil the balance. And so a truce was made. The four would serve the Council in exchange for unimaginable power. Thus were the dreaded horsemen formed, and the riders' first task was to purge their own brethren from creation, to annihilate the Nephilim and destroy their souls. Let us now cast our gaze to one amongst the four, not War, who lies chained at the Council's feet, professing his innocence, but one who would save his brother above all else. He has many names: Kinslayer, Executioner, Death.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the intro. Now, let's get to the review. The story itself in Darksiders 2 is pretty much awesome, but in my opinion, THQ could have made it better. As the first part was finished with War destroying the Seventh Seal and all of the other riders coming to Earth, pretty much many of us expected the second part to be about the riders coming to Earth. But THQ decided to take a different approach and go with the story of Death before he comes to Earth. The story is about Death trying to save War from being executed and resurrecting the kingdom of mankind back to Earth, which was destroyed in the first part. The characters in the game are detailed to pretty much to the bit. There are quite a lot of characters in the game, but you can keep track of all of them. Some have been kept from the first part. Many of them have been introduced anew, and well, you can still keep track of the story, basically, and the characters. The backstory of Death, which was introduced, is amazing. Even though THQ didn't decide for the story, the story where the riders come to Earth, they really outdid themselves with Death's backstory and the things that happened with Death while trying to save his brother. The story is very detailed. You can pretty much see everything that happened. Could use some tweaking though, but as far as the story goes, it is quite amazing. The gameplay, they kept the third-person RPG style from the first part, keeping the puzzles. The story is awesome itself, as said. They have added more weapons and armor, which, in my opinion, is a great feature, because that was one of the missing features in the first part, because you had only, I think, 3 weapons at the most. They also added 2 classes to Death, to to more adapt the playstyle to the player. They added the Necromancer and the Reaper, I think, or the Harbinger, and added some more new powers to the game, which make the gameplay even better than it was in the first part. The boss battles in the game aren't still not that hard. Could be harder, but THQ decided to focus on the story to make the game based on the storyline and not so much on the gameplay. In the game, you visit many different worlds, which makes it even more interesting because the game doesn't end where in the first part it is foretold that it's gonna end. They've added new combos, new enemies to the game. They've kept a few from the first parts, but most of them are new, and in my opinion, pretty much one of my favorite parts that was added to the game is the parkour style with which Death moves through the game. It kind of adds a more exciting view onto the game. It still is really amazing, even if it wouldn't have that part. But they kind of added the final bit with that to make it even more interesting, to well, pretty much make it even more playable. The graphics, as far as THQ goes, they don't have pretty much, the game itself doesn't have really high requirements. The graphics are great, they can be tweaked, except for the resolution, which is kind of a bad side, but could use the tweaking parts so to get it even more to make it even more interesting. So in my opinion, the game itself is great. The story is amazing. It provides hours of entertainment. The graphics could be better, but they are still awesome as far as it goes. The tweaking should be modified a bit, but the game itself is pretty much awesome. So this is going to be all from my side. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment on the videos, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.